The roadmap to 2023 conversations continues right now on Robin Minds.
Welcome back to this Robin Minds special in partnership with the Future Project. And today we're going to be talking about the roadmap to 2023, of course, talking about the elections coming up in about 2 years. So I was asking earlier, you were part of the Not Too Young to Run movement, which became an act of government. So does that still give you hope, with a movement that you became a part of with regards to young people or just Nigerians in general actually changing the way Nigeria is run?
Okay, on the question of the Not Too Young to Run, right? Ebuka, I think we've had to answer this question over and over again. And I remember on some of our previous shows, and I've said that the plan is not a 2018, you sign the bill, in 2019, you have to see the results of 2023, you have to see the final result. It's a plan that is in motion. I think it's over 20 years. So the goal is that being a part of the Not Too Young to Run campaign and seeing that bill passed, and if the outcomes currently measure up with our expectations. So what I would tell you is this: part of the soft power that we hope to generate from the bill being signed, I think fairly much we've gotten a great level of satisfaction with that, because when you look at what happened in 2019 and the over 300 people that were elected across board, and some of the principal members of state houses of assemblies and in the House today who are beneficiaries of the Not Too Young to Run movement, and also the galvanized interest from young Nigerians that they can actually lead. And it's absolutely why we believe that the outcomes may not be exactly what we had hoped for, but currently we believe that we're on the right track to galvanizing and organizing a generation that answers the question, not too young to run. Are you ready to lead Africa? So these are some of the answers that we are comfortable with. We may not be 100%, it's not Uhuru yet, but the work continues. With the work that Yaga continues to do on the, within Nigeria, the work that Ready to Lead Africa is doing right now across the continent, in Nigeria, Center for Liberty, and, many other NGOs raising new voices. Dinidari Foundation. These are all, outcomes of some of the things that the Not Too Young to Run also inspired. So you see what Dinidari did with from street to parliament. These are also examples of the fact that the bill that was signed, it wasn't just for people to get into office. It's about the process that energizes people to get to office. So for me, Ebuka, and to Nigerians in general, I think the outcomes are they're works in progress. They're not like something that you just go boom boom. No, it's a journey. It's a journey, and I just want Nigerians to have faith, continue to believe in the process, and we'll get it done.
And I want to hammer on this APC and PDP conversation now, because 2023 is here. Whether we like it or not, those are the two choices it looks like people have. I don't know if any APCs are going to emerge like between now and then. I know Shehu Kuti formed a new party. I don't know how far that's going to go. But these are the two major parties in front of us. And there are people who would always tell you these are the same thing. I mean, we'll see how many times governors and House of Reps members and senators swap sides. Virtually every other month, there's a new addition from this side to the other. So it really just feels like, it's not a choice for people to make. Do you feel confident enough? Do you feel inspired looking at these parties to still say, I'm going to go and vote in 2023?
Good question you asked. Frankly speaking, there is nothing inspiring about either of the party structure, I hear this slogan about young people, there's a need for young people to participate in the political process. But how can you participate or get into a process where the door for that process is shut? And in order to enter a shut door, what do you have to do? You have to either use your legs or use your hands or, engage some level of touchery to break the door. And so that is what we have in the political scene, where we see some elements of those called youths who engage in touchery to penetrate or pierce through the political door in order to get into the political room. And that is the challenge. I think, frankly, that if the PDP, for example, as an opposition party, wanted to take the bull by the horn, it could be more creative in the process. And I'll give a few examples. But before I mention those examples, I want to state that there's a challenge with the political process where politicians and political structures talk about the problems, not understanding that they're actually receiving taxpayers' money to provide solutions to the problem. And so you see politicians and political structures talk about the problem like every average citizen going about their normal business. The essence of a state structure is that people go about their normal businesses, right? Professions, in order for other people to be able to serve them at the governance level, and hence why they are paid for that purpose. That is one fundamental truth. Now, in trying to round off what the PDP as an opposition party can do, is the fact that the PDP can start to consider introducing fellowship and internship programs into the PDP in order not to ensure that creatively we find ways for forward-thinking young people across the geopolitical zones to begin to get into the fold without engaging in touchery. How about the PDP set up a fellowship program, a PDP internship program for young people across the states at the national level to have a fellowship at the PDP secretariat or have an internship with PDP members of the parliament, such that they begin to learn the ropes about the policy environment. And some of these young people can also contribute their energy in trying to drive policy analysis. Because you see this thing about political parties thinking that opposition party is just about criticizing the government. Does not work. It is also about trying to ensure that you engage the policy environment. And some of these young people across different communities doing fantastic work, like God bless himself, doing fantastic work, like some of the members of this panel, doing fantastic work in communities can be engaged through such fellowship or internship programs at the National Assembly, at the PDP secretariats, and then get to understand the ropes involved in politics. Finally, culture, not politics, determines the success of any nation. Look at Singapore. But politics can change a culture and deliver it from itself. And you cannot have innovation in massive scale except a particular generation understand politics. And so that is the challenge to we young people and the challenge to the PDP as an opposition party, since the APC has become a party where you speak words of truth through the right ear, it comes out through the left ear, maybe there is nothing in between to hold it for the party. But the PDP as the opposition party can start to show the light on how things can be done properly.
Thank you very much. Like you said, it's a rhetorical question, but this conversation is just starting for us. 2023 is still a few months away, and we're going to keep talking about it right here on Rubbing Minds. But we're going to take a break and come back and continue our conversation right here on this Rubbing Minds special. Please stay with us.
Light in your heart, light in your mind, light in your soul, in everything you do, light to the world, light shines so bright, where darkness lurks, oh, you should be light, you should be light, oh, you should be light, you should be life. Now I owe. Now your turn today. If it be my own tomorrow, you better be good. You better be kind. Ask you to walk, I'll make you take it slow. No need to the rush. Life now I owe. Now your turn today. If it be my own tomorrow, you better be good.
This is still the Robin Mind Special of the Young and Emerging Leaders Symposium in collaboration with the Future Projects, Aisha Yusufu, Rinu Udwala, Mr. Macaroni, Tacha Akide, and DJ Switch joins us to continue the conversation on safe spaces for activism in Nigeria.
Mr. Macaroni, you went through something quite traumatic for a lot of people. We saw the videos of you being arrested. You were kept in police custody. You were beaten up. Simple question, what keeps someone like you going? Because for a lot of people, that happens to them, like Reno said, it's time to jackpot because it's like, there's nothing here for me anymore. You know, but you're still actively involved in, activism. And you're a young person. What is different about how you see things that maybe other young people should see with regards to, trying to speak up and continue to hold government accountable?
Yeah, so because at the end of the day, Nigeria is a country. As much as those that maybe they say they are government supporters and everything think they are the patriots or whatever it is they call themselves. People like me believe that for this country to be better, we must never allow elements of destruction take over the country. In case you do not know, it's not those that are protesting that are elements of destruction. The people that want this country to be better are like this. We know plenty at all. The people that are benefiting from the corruption, from the impunity, and the madness going on in this country are those that do not want to see anything better in the country. So for someone like me, as a matter of fact, I believe that God has brought me to where I am today. I believe I am as popular as I am today because God wants me to be able to use my platform to condemn societal ills. I will never, there's no amount of beating up you beat me up that will stop me from saying the truth. No be today they don't beat person up. No be me go be the first way they beat or where they are there. So if that is going to stop me from expressing what I feel, what I believe, and the way I see things going on in the country, Nigeria are my own. Because say you be government official or you be whoever you be, no mean say now you get the country or now you get the state. And now we be citizens, now we get the state. If the country they us for body, we go talk. If you know they do your work, it is not an attack. The government needs to know, they need to get it into their heads that when people criticize the government, they are simply telling you to do better. Do not put yourself in a position where you believe that the citizens, who are the citizens to question you, or who are the citizens to do better? You are working for the citizens. Who are you? So when we talk, when we say enough is enough, it is because we are just fed up. All my friends, before I become popular like this, all my friends, we gathered in this Nigeria where we they also together. Look, if you know how many auditions I go with this my leg, when they say they go even collect money for my hand, people who audition me, they go even collect money for my hand. You see all those friends where we gather there, none of them, not even one like this, is in Nigeria. All of them don't run. What can you get done in Nigeria without mago? Do you want to collect passport? Do you want to collect driver's license? Is it NYSC posting? What can you actually get done in this country without mago? Schools, the schools, the government-owned schools that we have, what health system? Go there. The doctors they tell you say, oh, now you go first go deposit this one. You go first. People they die. People are dying every day. So when people talk, it is because the government has shown that you are irresponsible. So we are simply telling you to be responsible. So because a person like me, I'm not ready to run, go anywhere. I'm not running anywhere. I don't kill anybody. I know me, as I know they do anything where they illegal. Why? Because I always want to get mouth to talk.
Aisha, when the Twitter ban happened, government said that they did that because of the security challenges we're facing and how social media was contributing to that. And I mean, whether people believe that or not is a whole other conversation. But the fact is that we can't run away from what fake news does around the world today, especially in Nigeria. We go on Twitter, we have all seen it, almost on a daily basis, where news is thrown out, it ends up being a lie or an exaggeration of things, and before things are corrected, emotions are already inflamed. Is that not a valid thing for government to say, we need to control this space so that things don't escalate? Do you think that's a way to go about it? Do you think social media regulation is necessary with what government is saying and with how young people, quote unquote, act on social media?
First of all, the question that you asked, whether the other means of young people getting their voices, and not just young people, but every citizen being an active citizen. It's not just about protests. And for me, I always say to people, most times you see people at the protests and we just think that that's where activism starts and ends. No, it doesn't. Being an active citizen is not only about being at the protest ground. There are people who are the ones who are pursuing policy changes. They got the problems, they set agenda, they ensure that there is a policy formulation, policy implementation, and evaluation and of that policy legitimation going on. So that's activism on its own. People can also use their music. People can use writing articles, write articles, put out something, put out your opinion, put out your voice, let your voice be heard, challenge the things that are on ground. These are all means of people protesting. But the biggest form of protest, I tell you, is voting. Voting. Every 4 years, there's always an opportunity for you to go and let your displeasure be heard, be seen, and be known. And one of the things that we always do as Nigerians is the fact that we reward bad behavior. So we see our political office holders who haven't done the right thing, and then when they come again for re-election, we vote them because we like them, or we're from the same region, or we have the same beliefs and all of that. And so there's no incentive for them to do the right thing. And earlier on when DJ Switch talked about the fact that, by the way, this DJ Switch, oh my goodness, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, October 20th, 2020 would have been a different story. All of us, we owe you for that. Thank you so much. God bless you and God protect you. DJ Sweet said something. She said that they come and if you do a post, they will go all the way to your house and they can pick you up. Why is it that they are not doing it with those that are terrorizing Nigeria? It's simple. There's no incentive. There's no incentive for them to go after Boko Haram. There's no incentive for them to go after terrorists. There's no incentive for them to go after kidnappers because it doesn't affect them. Whether they do that or they do not do that, they know that the people are going to vote them back into office. People who are saying that, oh, my vote will not count. People who are saying, oh, your party will not win, and only vote the major parties. People who are saying that, oh, you think election is by English, we only have, you are not popular, come and test your popularity. So they know that they are going to be voted. Sometimes people sit down and say the National Assembly isn't doing what it's supposed to do. And I say to them, 90% of the people that are at the National Assembly, they wouldn't have gotten into the National Assembly if they, not even 90%, make it 99%, they wouldn't have gotten into National Assembly if they were not part of these two major parties. So you see, their loyalty is not to the citizens because they know the citizens didn't vote them. Their loyalty is to the party power brokers who gave them the ticket of their parties. Until Nigerians get to a point where we are using our protest as vote. And there was something that Rinu Oduala said the other time. She said, can we do like a voting block where we come together and say, okay, here, this is the candidate we are all going for. Guess what would happen when you do that? You will bring power to your hand. Then there will be incentive for them to just do the right thing. Earlier on, somebody said that online activists are the problem. Please, I want everybody to understand, nobody owes you an advocacy. With people sit down and abdicate their responsibilities of being good as active citizens, and they expect that there are activists that should be doing their work for them. There are activists that should speak on the issues for them. Nobody owes you that. Every one of us, we must come out and ensure that we are speaking. If you're not speaking, keep quiet. It's okay not to speak, but you have no business. You have no right to tell people that this is the way they should advocate. Come out and show us. Stop talking. Stop telling me online activists. That's the reason why for me, I'm not even an activist. I'm an active Nigerian who will speak on issues when I feel like, how I feel like, and the time I feel like. If you don't like it, go and do your speaking. I'm fighting for the unborn Nigerians.
Like the show is already over with that. But thank you very much, Aisha. You talked about allegiance there, and I want to come to you now, Tacha.
This conversation continues